Scotland have yet to begin their World Cup qualification for 2026, but for some countries, they're towards the latter stages of their qualification, and some countries have already even qualified for the tournament. And today, we're going to have a roundup, we're going to dive into it, we're going to see who's there, we're going to see who's not there, we're going to see who's almost within reach of qualifying, and who has already been eliminated. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Scotland probably won't be there, so this is probably the closest that we'll get to talking about Scotland at the 2026 World Cup. Is our group overly difficult? No, but I just look at the form of Denmark and Greece and the way they're playing right now. I look at how we're playing, and unfortunately, I'm not giving as much chance. Had it been Scotland from over 2 years ago, I'd be quietly confident of topping that group, but at this moment in time, I think we'd be lucky to finish third.
We've no chance and a ball hasn't been kicked, man. That's the reality with Steve Clarke. And you know what as well? It's a good thing that we're not like Wales or Belgium and we're like 3 games into it. Because where would we be?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose at least we have a chance to try and find a bit of form, but we've no more games up until the first match, so I'm not convinced. Look, we'll get behind Steve Clarke, we'll cheer him on, and I hope he proves us wrong.
But see, we've seen you look at it though. See the players that we've got in that team. There's a case that they'll be more out of form when September rolls around. Is McTominay going to be better then than now? I doubt it. Gilmore, Ferguson.
What I will say is, if I look at it from a player, individual standpoint, I think we should be having a chance of beating Denmark and Greece to that top spot.
Oh, absolutely, but not with Steve Clarke, sadly. But
right, let's get into it.
Let's talk about some teams that will make it or have made it.
Yeah, so these are the teams that have already qualified. Now, Canada, Mexico, and USA, they are the joint hosts, so therefore they all get automatic qualification. Now, we've seen in some tournaments UK putting a bid in for the Euros, and the teams don't qualify via being the hosts. But it is strange here that the World Cup hosts are I think this is correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the first time for a major tournament that the hosts have qualified if the host number goes beyond 2.
It probably is.
Now, I think there was a Euros, was it Poland and Austria? Or was it Poland and Ukraine? Or Austria and Ukraine?
It was Poland and Ukraine.
Yeah, I remember 2008, those two qualified being the hosts, but this is the first tournament I can remember where there was more than 2 hosts and all those hosts were qualified.
Why I think they've done it this way is, you talked about the UK, right?
Maybe 48 teams.
They know for a fact with the UK, England's getting in, right?
Well, I'd say the likelihood is you know for a fact that these teams are going to get in.
Also with England, they're hosting the majority of games of the Euros. They know that's a fact. That's a guarantee anyway. Why would we want Wales, Republic of Ireland, and Scotland in?
Could it just be that if you put Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland in, that you're taking up 3 spots, and they think there's potentially 3 better European teams that are going to miss it?
And Ireland get in because the FIFA's being used and all that stuff, so it'd be 4.
5.
Yeah, well, on top of England. So I think that's what it is as well.
And that only leaves 19 spots up for qualification.
Absolutely, I think that's what it is.
But obviously, this is a 48-team World Cup.
But see if they were being fair, man, they would scatter the games out. England wouldn't get all the games because Republic of Ireland, and Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland doesn't really have a stadium. Let's be honest, really fit for purpose when it comes to Euros. They've got Windsor Park. They're planning about building a new one. Wales has got quite a few, to be fair to them. We've got plenty. England have obviously got the most. That's undeniable. But the problem is, it favours England that, and they know England's always going to get in. But as for Canada, Mexico, United States, you're bringing up the fact, well, they always get in.
No, they don't always get in, but
they should get in.
Yeah, they should get. Mexico and USA, yes. Canada, not so much. But I think the Canada team has come on in recent years.
I think what they fear is, though, is if these 3 teams weren't in it, the attendances might be poor. Even though it's not like Canada playing 15 of the games, they're only playing a couple, but that could affect it. Again, it's also the way football's becoming, man. They're globalising it, and I feel like with the Canada, Mexico, United States, they're trying to make a big deal out of that. So they've guaranteed them qualification, and it's the most expanded World Cup ever. 48 teams?
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, so you think if the UK hosts a World Cup with 48 teams in the future, you think all five would get
More
automatic?
chance, yeah.
Right, well, we'll wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, Canada, Mexico, USA are in it, and I believe that there is now 6 spots open now for the North American qualification. So I think there'll be another 3 teams joining them. I believe.
That'll be interesting.
Well, there would have to be, because normally they only get 3 spots. They can't just be like, all right, Canada, Mexico, and USA are getting the 3 spots, and
Right.
no other teams allowed to qualify.
you're right.
Here, Costa Rica, Honduras, Jamaica,
Jamaica.
you're not allowed. Panama,
Aye.
you're not getting a chance to get in. So obviously that's going to have to. That'll probably be how it works. Right, we have the Asian qualifiers. We have Japan, New Zealand, and Iran. Well, actually, not New Zealand. Sorry, we've got Japan and Iran, and then Uzbekistan, South Korea, Jordan, and Australia. So that is the 6 teams from Asia, and then from Oceania we have New Zealand. Why can't Australia go back to playing in the Oceania qualifiers?
Yeah, there's a lot of Diddy teams in there, isn't there, man? Uzbekistan, Jordan.
Yeah, that is. I mean, who's the big? That's all the Australia. Who's the big Australian team? No, who's missing out? And you're right. Like what? I mean, there's no Saudi Arabia. Like I'm not saying they're massive, but I mean they have been at World Cups before.
Done pretty well at the last
This
one.
is Uzbekistan and Jordan's first appearance.
What about China?
Not really a football nation.
They're not, but they do have.
I mean, North Korea's been at World Cups before. We'll have a look and we'll see who qualified.
I would have
expense of
expected
who.
with the Chinese Super League that they would have created more players, to be honest.
Yeah, but the Chinese Super League's just a bunch of foreign people in the Chinese league, isn't it?
No, it is, but on the face of it, you would expect China to get in before
football.
Uzbekistan.
Yeah, you'd think that football in China would become bigger, and I don't know, more people would get into it because there's more interest. Obviously, if the Chinese Super League's thriving, then people growing up will be more interested in football, and therefore you'd think they'd create better next generations of talent. But I mean, whatever. And from the South American side, we've got Brazil and Ecuador. I believe they've upped it now that 6 teams qualify, with a 7th team getting a playoff. So you've got 10 teams in South America. 6 are automatically qualifying, and the 7th place team is in a playoff. Do you not think they're risking with the World Cup making it similar to the Euros, where it's too easy to qualify?
Absolutely.
Or at least too easy from the other nation. I just don't think 7 out of 10 teams should be qualifying for South America. No, but is that not a way of them guaranteeing that Brazil and Argentina never miss out? Because they're unlikely to miss out anyway, right? I accept that. But see, previously, I believe it was 4 teams automatically qualified, and the 5th team went into a playoff. I think that if Brazil and Argentina, if they're underperforming, and you have like a good generation of like a Chile team, a Uruguay team, a Colombia team, I think there is a chance where you could see a Brazil-Argentina possibly finishing like 5th.
Yep.
And miss it out on the playoffs or whatnot. But with the 7 teams now, it's unlikely.
They'll never backtrack from 48 teams.
Which is sad, because I just don't think 3-team groups is good.
More chance of getting more.
Yeah, I'd rather see 64. But then again, you're watering down the World Cup big time, aren't you?
No, you are.
I thought 16 for the Euros, and I thought 32 for the World Cup. That was good. Now, the Euros used to be 8, and the World Cup, I believe, used to be 16.
That's ridiculous. I think that's too low.
That was back in the day, though, when there was less countries, so it made sense. To me, I believe 16 in Europe for the Euros and 32 in the World Cup. I think that was a good amount.
Yep.
For me, the footballing nations, the smaller football nations, haven't came on enough over the last decade to justify increasing the nations. Maybe they think by giving 48 teams that will push other nations on. But see the Euros, for example. See if all the small teams got better. See if you had your Luxembourgs and your San Marinos and your Liechtensteins. See if they all started improving. I think you could make a case. 24 here, maybe even make it more, but I'm just not sure that it was justified.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of shit games in this World Cup. Easily.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, pretty much.
Yeah, well, so this is the numbers you get exactly. So, Africa, or was that the Asian, right? So they're getting 8 slots directly. So you're getting 8 Asian teams in one playoff. Africa's getting 9 teams. You're getting 17 teams in this World Cup made up of African and Asian teams.
Yeah.
Right, North America, you're getting the 3 hosts, plus you're getting 3 other teams, plus you're getting 2 playoff teams.
By God.
So you could potentially have 8 teams from North America
Yeah.
in the World Cup.
That's a lot.
Minimum of 6.
That's an insane amount, isn't it, when you think of it?
You're getting 6, and then possibly another 1 in South America. Oceania's guaranteed 1, with a possible further in the playoff spot. And UEFA is 16. I believe that was UEFA not 16 for the previous World Cup? And if it wasn't 16, it wasn't much more. It would have been like 14.
Aye, it might have been 14. And what's that at the bottom? Playoffs too? Or was that just the remaining?
I'm not sure what that is, to be completely honest with you. I guess maybe they need to add up numbers. And that I mean, yeah, I don't know. Not too sure what that is, but you'd think maybe Europe would get more. And this is not me, oh, you're only wanting Europe in it because you're from Europe or whatever. No, it's because Europe has the better quality, much better standard of teams.
No, absolutely, yeah, that is. It's a World Cup, so should be represented by the world, but...
Now, see if you look at the FIFA World Rankings, see if you look at the top 48 teams in the world. Maybe, I don't know how many like European teams will be in the top 48, but the reason why European teams might be ranked lower than some teams for Asia or Africa is because they're constantly playing each other. And but look at the standard. Like, look at Australia, or maybe not Australia, but like New Zealand, for example.
Yeah,
they should have a high ranking because they're beating
Diddy teams.
Yeah,
but they're always winning.
Like South Korea and Japan, they will probably be ranked. I'd say their rating. I think they're decent teams, but their rating in the FIFA World Rankings is probably artificial because they're 2 of the better teams in Asia, so therefore they're playing Asian teams more, and they're winning.
No, absolutely, but what I don't understand is I think the Europe number should have went up at least, but I think 16's nowhere near enough, man, when you think of it.
Right, so here is the Asian qualification path. So top 2 teams qualify directly. In terms of the teams that finished 3rd and 4th, they had advanced to the 4th round. Not quite sure how the 4th round works. Can we have a wee look here? Following teams, so 6-team draw. Is there a seeded team? Or is it just another group? So they go into another group?
And the top 2 go through?
Or is it free? Oh, right, okay. So there's the 6 teams go into 2 groups of 3. And we have the winners of the groups, they will qualify for the World Cup, and the second place teams in the group, they will go into playoffs against teams from other confederations. So 2 of these teams that are in blue will join the 6 teams that have already qualified, and another 2 of those teams in blue will enter into a playoff match against teams from a different confederation. So I say it's surprising not to see Saudi Arabia there. I imagine that they probably actually will get there.
Have you ever heard of Kyrgyzstan? I've never heard of that nation before, and they beat North Korea.
Interesting, but Palestine there just missing it.
97th minute penalty, and China didn't do as well as I thought they would.
Who do you think will go through then out of those 6 teams?
Saudi Arabia and Iraq. But see when you look at the groups, Group C is definitely the hardest.
Oh, absolutely, aye.
Like I mean, because you've got
honestly, Saudi Arabia finished second, I think, in either Group A or Group B. Or maybe they could even do better than second.
No, absolutely.
But then again, Uzbekistan got a decent points tally, but is that because they were in against?
But I don't. How does it? Is it seeded though? Is there a case where the bottom 6, the 2 in the bottom, the bottom 2 teams in the 3 of the groups could have all got the same
No, I believe not. I believe there would be some form of seeding.
We got there in the end, didn't we?
Aye, something like that. Right. So the African section, I believe there was 9 teams. Let's just double check that. Yeah, so 9 teams qualified directly, and then a 10th team goes into the playoff spot. So we have 9 groups. So how does it work? First round, teams were drawn into 9 groups. The winner of each, right, okay. Second round, the 4 best ranked group runner-ups will participate in a playoff to determine which team will advance. Alright, so, we've got 9 groups. The winner of each group qualifies for the World Cup. The 4 best runner-ups then go into the second round where they play a semis and a final. And then the winner of the second best team will go into the Confederation playoffs. So, you have to jump through a lot of hoops here to get into that next round.
There is Nigeria not looking too good. Cyril Dessers.
Not looking good now. I believe it's home and away, isn't it? Yep. So we're at the halfway point here for most of these groups. Although, for some reason, this team looks like they're not participating. So this has become a 5-team group. The Congo, not got any points on the board.
They're eliminated.
But yeah, so let's look at the groups then. Group A. I can't see past Egypt.
Yeah, they'll win.
I expect Burkina Faso to get second. Group B. I would have been thinking... I would have thought Senegal to just beat England. But I mean, the Congo, I think, have improved, haven't they?
No, they have absolutely.
Well, the DR Congo.
Aye.
The other Congo seems to be pretty shite.
Dr. Congo.
Togo used to have Adebayor. Probably the only big player I could name for Togo, to be honest. Group C, you mentioned Nigeria are struggling. I mean, at this point, I'd say they're just playing for second, aren't they?
They are.
I'd expect them to get second, but...
Unless they're playing South Africa and they beat them.
Yeah. Even then, it's going to be tough to claw that back. Group D, you'd expect Cameroon, I think, to win that, but they're currently in second. Group E, can't really see past Morocco, and then Group F, Ivory Coast. I mean, you're looking at these groups, and I think definitely the hardest one would be South Africa and Nigeria, because when you look at that Group C is the only one I think with 2 African powerhouses.
Aye.
Every other group seems to have one
One's led by
standout.
Cyril Dessers, though.
Well, but every other group seems to have like just one standout team. Group C has, South Africa and Nigeria. Then we go into the bottom 3 groups.
Well, there's more.
Group G, Algeria. Yeah, probably expect them to be. Somalia, what's that, the lowest IQ in the world, I think, per capita.
And they're lowest in the group.
Almost like there's a correlation. Anyway, Group H, you got Tunisia in there.
They got Said beside them.
Cannot qualify directly, but can still advance to the second round.
Oh, there we go.
Well, that ain't going to happen. Tunisia in Group H, and then Group I, Ghana. I stand by what I said. I think Group C, Nigeria and South Africa will feel hard done by. That's the only group with 2 big African nations.
Absolutely.
But what I would also say is, I think whichever one, obviously it's looking like Nigeria now, they should be kind of good enough to finish second and come through. Unless there's a bit of an upset. I mean, at the moment, like, if you look at, let's say Nigeria do finish second, everything stays the same, you've got Senegal and Cameroon in that second round playoff. You're going to have a couple of, if things stand the way they are, you're going to have a couple of big African nations missing out in the World Cup.
Definitely a couple. No 2 ways about it, but, I mean, that's pretty much... Is that wrapped up Africa then?
So this is just the rankings here. So right now, that's who would be advancing to the second round. Gabon, Cameroon, Senegal, Nambia.
Well, no more games are played, I guess.
Aye, something like that. Right, let's move on then to the North American side.
The 3 teams we said earlier, pretty much.
Aye, obviously we've got no Canada, no America, and no Mexico. So there's no games actually been played yet. When's this begin?
There's me sitting there saying the 3 teams we said.
Well, obviously, I'd say they're seeded.
It must be. See, looking at this, man, it makes you wonder how, like, Canada...
Did you know that Suriname was in North America?
No, because I couldn't...
Or Central America, even?
I couldn't even fucking tell you what it is.
I thought it was. I thought that was in Africa.
Same with Trinidad and Tobago.
No, I knew that was in Central America. Like,
no, I didn't know that one. Apart from but the rest,
come on, Jason Scotland used to play for Trinidad and Tobago. Beside Jamaica. No, I should have known Suriname was not in Africa because I actually watched the show, and Suriname was in it.
Well, that's all good, but what's up next?
Well, these teams haven't played each other, so
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's no point staring at an empty league table.
I think that the 3 teams in the top places right now will go through, though.
I agree with that.
Right. Right,
And this is completed.
we've got South America. There's still 2 more games to go, I believe. Yeah, there's 18 games to be played. We've got 3 teams already qualified. Argentina, Ecuador, Brazil.
What happened to Chile? Remember Sanchez, Gary Medel, what do you call that other guy? Fidal,
Nice.
Claudio Bravo. A lot of other players, man. What happened to that Chile team?
Rocky Santa Cruz.
Yep, they're all at the window.
Is he Chilean? Don't know if he was Chilean or not.
I think he was
Paraguayan,
Paraguayan.
actually. Aye.
Right.
Anyway, listen. The top 6 should be top 6.
I agree with that.
We don't know the goal difference, but it's very fucking unlikely here that Uruguay and Paraguay both lose their last 2 and Venezuela win their last 2 and overtake them. I would imagine that Paraguay and Uruguay have better goal difference.
Couldn't imagine the World Cup without the likes of Colombia, Uruguay, Brazil and Argentina, couldn't you?
Yeah, you know what, I mean, let's just have a look and see. But, I mean, Colombia, I guess, are the only team that can realistically be caught, but even then, I don't think that's going to happen. Goal difference, yeah, Venezuela -4. I don't see them turning that around. Let's see what the last couple of games are like. Who's Colombia got to play? So, match day 17, match day 18, they will take place in September. You've got Colombia against Bolivia at home. That should pretty much, Venezuela have to go to Argentina. And then Venezuela play Colombia. Well, I mean, it'd be interesting if Venezuela can get to within 3 points of Colombia, then it'll be interesting. But I just don't see it because Colombia have got Bolivia at home, and Venezuela would need to beat Argentina away. I think that pretty much tells you that the 6 teams currently occupying the top 6 spots will be there.
No, they will be. Absolutely, no two ways about it. A lot of matches in this.
Would be a bit more interesting if the Venezuelan Colombia game was first, because then Venezuela could put the pressure on with a win.
You're really hyping up something chronic, but
Oh, well, forgive me for actually caring about FITBA, mate.
well, what about the fucking nation that matters then?
Oh, we're almost there. Calm it down.
Almost finished my drink.
Oceania.
Steve Clark. Aye, Oceania, that one. The big OFC.
Right, let's have a look here and see all
All
the teams that were in it.
Chris Wood.
All 11 eligible OFC nations entered. Right, why is Australia not in this? Legit answer.
I thought they always were a part of Oceania.
Well, no, I believe that they were. I'm pretty sure.
No, but geographically. Fuck your shitey, whatever the footballing world thinks.
I'm pretty sure Australia is considered part of Asia. I consider it part of Oceania.
How can it be considered part of Asia when it's like closer to other parts of Oceania than other parts of Oceania are to Asia, if you know what I mean? There's other parts of Oceania closer to Asia than there is...
Closeness doesn't really matter, though.
It does to a degree. I think it does.
I don't know, does it?
No, I think it does, man.
I don't know, it'd be like saying Northern Ireland's closer to Ireland than it is to Great Britain, so therefore, you know.
But ain't in Great Britain, it's United Kingdom.
Yeah. That's why I said it's close to Great Britain, because how could it be closer to itself? You know, that would make no sense.
But no, but it's where you draw the line. Why is it deemed Asia?
I don't deem it Asia.
But why is it?
Fuck, I don't know.
The most eastern part of Russia is closer to the United States than it is to Europe. Is that North America? You know, where's the line being drawn here? It's all a load of shite.
Do you think Russia could make a case to get entered into the Asian qualifiers since they've been... I know it's a FIFA thing that have got them currently not playing, but could that be a way for Russia to get back into...
I think they'd have to take part in some mad one.
Mad one?
Probably the Asians would let them in.
Oh, right. Whatever.
Well, put it this way, right? If Israel and Palestine are both allowed in...
Now, they've been fighting non-stop for...
decades,
man.
So why can't the
And they'll never stop.
Aye.
I mean, this Russia-Ukraine war will end eventually, you know.
Aye.
Palestinians will never stop fighting. There's the pots right there. I mean, not a lot to say really, is there? New Zealand, 94th ranked in the world. Like, look how low ranking these teams are.
I mean, Tonga, Samoa, American Samoa. What is that? Samoa, American Samoa, brother. The Cook Islands. The fucking Jobber Islands.
Samoa Joe must be for that one.
He must be.
Anyway, right.
Who's that? Says 99% of the audience. I don't know.
It's alright. Right, let's get into UEFA. This is what everyone's here to see. 25 minutes in, and everyone's here to see it, so...
Hanging on here.
Hanging.
20 past 4 and we're talking about fucking a load of shit
Is that what time is?
I think so.
Jesus Christ. It's 10 to 4. 20 past. Catch yourself on.
Amateur hour here.
Right. Well, none of these groups have taken place yet, so that's a bit anticlimactic.
No, let's talk about those groups.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
Right, Germany will advance.
I'm not going to make much of an argument. No, I think Germany will advance here.
NI, decent chance. I'll tell you what, Luxembourg's got a decent chance a second.
Yeah, Luxembourg's got some decent players, and I think Luxembourg are the sort of nation now that you can't just look at it and go, oh, that's 6 points.
Yep.
I mean, Luxembourg, I'm pretty sure in the last qualification group they had 2 wins over Ireland.
No, they did.
Not that Ireland are great or anything like that, but I think Luxembourg are a team now that, depending on the group that they're in, have an outside shot of a playoff spot, and I think this is one of those groups where, well, the way I see it, see if Luxembourg beat Northern Ireland or Slovakia in a one-off game, I wouldn't be surprised. So if they can do it in a one-off game, why can't they do it?
I wouldn't mind them in the playoff, put it that way.
No, I'd take them. Not convinced we'd beat them, like, because Iceland turned us over. So
Germany will win. Right, Group B. Ooh.
This is an interesting group because I think those 3 teams are pretty evenly matched. There's not a lot between them.
Yeah, no, totally.
I'd say Switzerland are the best out of the 3.
No, they are, but Sweden could do a job.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that there's a big amount in it, like, so.
I think any team in that could win the group now, and it wouldn't be a massive shock, because Kosovo are a decent nation.
Yeah, they're not complete shite, aren't they?
No.
Right, Group C, speaking of complete shite, Scotland, we're not that good.
Right. See, Steve Clark, man, couldn't have asked for an easier group, because it could have been Portugal. And at that point, if it's Portugal, we're fucked. We are snookered. Right? And what you got to bear in mind is here, there's a get out of jail free card with second spot. But
look at how good we were against Portugal in the Nations League.
I am not convinced.
Look, we ended that Nations League really well, and did you not think, oh, there's a bit of...
Do you not think I think there's more chance of us finishing 4th than 1st.
I mean, I'm kind of tempted to agree with that. But do you not think, as bad as the Euros were, right, and then the 3 defeats in the beginning of that Nations League, we came back and we picked up 7 points at the last 9, and then we beat Greece in the first round. Was it not beating them away from home?
Aye.
In the first, in the Nations League relegation playoff round?
Oh, no.
See, at that point, were you not thinking, hold on here, we've picked up 3 wins and a draw at our last 4 against decent teams?
But now the goodwill's gone.
And then we just, I don't know what happened, man. We got hammered off Greece and...
Disgusting performance.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Hampden just feels pish.
Honestly, I don't know. Greece and Denmark feel levels above us right now.
It's the fact, folks, that the first game's away to debt. Lose that, it's over.
I wouldn't be surprised if Greece topped this group.
No, I wouldn't be.
The Greeks look good. So, listen, if we can get back to our best, then I think we've got a chance.
It's sad that we're thinking we've got no chance of second, though.
Yeah, we drew against Portugal, we beat Croatia, we beat Poland, and we beat Greece in the first leg.
Look around these groups, right, and look at the teams that can finish second. You have to give us a chance. Come on, Clark. Put the bottle down, man, and think clearly here for a second.
I think if we perform to our best, we can win the group.
Oh, aye. But
I
if we perform like we have, we'll finish last.
Aye. Group D, I'm expecting France to win that one.
Aye.
Group E, got to give it to Spain, and then I think it's,
anyone's guess, really.
Anyone's guess,
Turkey should, though.
I mean, Turkey and Georgia, they not drawing the Euros?
I think they did. Group F, Portugal, Hungary, Republic of Ireland, and Armenia.
I think that's one of those groups where Republic of Ireland could finish last, to be honest.
Yep. It's wooden spoon for them.
Right, now we get into the groups that have already had games take place. So, Group G, Finland leading the way, played 2 games more though than the Netherlands. Netherlands have a 100% record. You would expect them to go through. I think they will go through, and I see a battle between Poland and Finland for second spot.
I agree with that logic. Be interested to see what happens. Malta's picked up a point, no bad.
You look at Group H, it's the kind of group where Scotland got, you'd be happy with it.
True, but some people would spin it and be like, oh, Austria's as good as Denmark and Bosnia are like Greece. You know what I mean? Even though I would disagree.
I think Denmark are better than Austria, and I think Greece are better than Bosnia, but like my point, yeah, like, I think Romania, Austria, Bosnia, that'll be tight, and I think that could go either way between those teams, but I'd have fancied, I don't know, I think I would have took that group. Group I, you got Norway leading the way, 12 points out of 12. They just beat Italy. I think they not hump them like 3-0?
Aye.
Was it 4-0?
In Oslo, aye.
4-0?
3 or 4.
Honestly, at this, I know it's only one game, but Norway, they've got a perfect record. Even if Italy win their 2 games in hand, and there's no guarantee they do that, but I mean, they're still 3 behind, and does it go on head-to-head, or does it go on goal difference? If it goes on head-to-head, then Italy are in a bit in trouble here.
But that's a team we'd get in the playoff, you know what I mean? You want to avoid them at all costs.
Yeah, do you know if it goes on head-to-head or goal difference?
I don't have a fucking Scooby, to be honest.
Yeah, not too sure myself.
I think the fact it doesn't show goal difference might suggest it was head-to-head.
Not too sure.
So, discuss this template.
Anyway, Norway's got off to a good start. Italy have missed the last 2 the last 2 World Cups.
Yep. It's the same with Italy.
Could they? Surely this would be the first time Italy have missed 3 World Cups in a row.
And it's the fact they won the Euros.
I don't think.
Euros
I don't think they've never missed two World Cups in a row previously.
No, it's insane.
It's just a team that you always expect to be there.
Group J.
It's mental, man, if they miss 3 World Cups back to back. Alright, Wales.
I think Wales are a wee bit of trouble.
Yeah, I feel bad for Wales. Almost fought back well. Almost got a draw against Belgium.
Did the unthinkable, because we wouldn't be able to do that.
No.
3-0 down against Belgium.
Yeah, came back, made it 3-3, and then conceded a goal late on.
Nico Raskin changed the game.
Yeah, unlucky for them. I mean, that would have left them unbeaten. They would have had 8 points, and you would have had Belgium on only 2. And at that point, you'd have been thinking for Wales and North Macedonia here, maybe we can actually take the fight here and win this thing. But nah, and unfortunately, Belgium got the win. So that's Belgium played 2 games against Wales and Macedonia, drew one against North Macedonia, almost drew the other one against Wales. Yeah, I mean, I expect Belgium to pick up 12
There's
points.
a lot of hype around Wales, but they could finish 3rd here.
Oh, absolutely.
And the hype could be dead, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe that point that they missed out on against Belgium, that could come back to haunt them.
Group
right,
K.
England, they've got 3 wins in Group K, but I mean, as per usual, you look at England and they just get an easy group. England had Serbia at the World Cup, and was it 1-1? Or did they beat them 1-0?
Can't remember.
Serbia's not a great side. England are shite. They lost to Senegal. That proves it, man. That they're not a good team. I don't see this partnership with Tuchel working.
I don't. Yeah, they got scudded by Senegal, first African team to beat them, but they'll get. I mean, they're already through. Let's face it. They're there. They're on the plane. But they won't win it. So no need to fucking worry about it. So.
I would argue that in your lifetime, England have never turned up and played well at a tournament. I know people are going to say you're talking shite because they made the final of the Euros. I disagree. I don't think they played well in that Euros. They had an easy run to the final.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that.
I mean, look at other
2 finals in a row.
Yeah, I just don't think they've been that good.
World Cup. No, you're right.
I mean,
but then where do you draw the line? Because they were shite with great players over the years, and now we're a team that people would consider worse than a lot of those teams.
Who's going to forget about the elimination to Iceland?
Yeah, that was great.
Sven-Göran Erskine, they say he had the best England generation, and he was consistent, but unfortunately, consistency's not great when you're going to the quarterfinals.
See, when it comes,
I think 3 tournaments he managed England.
Yeah, we can't
quarterfinals.
We can't really talk, right? Because we've won hee-haw, right?
Yeah, but we're not talked up as potential winners every tournament like these guys.
See, England have won 1 tournament.
That's a Greece.
Yes. You've hit the nail.
That's a Czech Republic or Denmark.
You compare it to the other top European. I mean,
all the top European nations have won like half a dozen.
Yeah. England are essentially Belgium because the World Cup they won was that fucking long ago.
And there was controversy behind it.
Aye, come on.
Right.
Fuck them.
They'll win this group, but
They won't win the
no,
thing.
they won't win the World Cup, and that's all that matters. And then Group L, we've got Czech Republic leading it, but Croatia have a 100% record, and I do expect them to. They beat Croatia. They beat Czech 5-1, so I'm going with Croatia.
Aye, and Czech Republic second, and that's us.
Yeah, then we got the Interconfederation playoffs. We don't really know any of these teams yet, so all unseeded, and that's it. In terms of top goal scorers, Alamos Ali, he leads the way right now with 12 goals for Bahrain. You got Song Min Hung.
Son Heung-min.
That's the one.
Got
I just named somebody for Squid Game though, but apologies. Season 3 coming out soon. Check fucking up to a minute.
Who else is in there? We got.
Chris Wood.
That's easier for you to say, isn't
Nah.
it? Chris, we got Fabio Lima, we got Harry Abdallah, we got Mohamed Salah, Koki Ugawaya.
Won't be long till Scott McTominay's adding his name here.
I fucking hope so.
Let's fucking pray. Anyway, guys, I think that's where we're going to end it. We'll catch you in the next one. There's a page here for the Women's World Cup, but we're not gonna click that. And that's it. Till next time. Peace.